The oldest trick in the book. Hard to get. Playing hard to get. Maybe you've done it. Maybe a girl has done it on you. Maybe you're experiencing it right now, which I know a lot of guys get really, really annoyed with. The fact that they like a girl and she's kind of teasing him, showing him like she's kind of interested, and then pulling back and then putting him in the friend zone. And of course, I do not blame women for that. I'm blaming you as a guy who's sticking around and dealing with that. But anyway, what's happening here is you're getting more attracted to her and invested into her as she's showing a little bit of interest and then a little bit of disinterest. So what I want to do on this video is explain why this works and also how this works, because I believe that you should be playing hard to get. And I'm not really trying to condone playing games here, but what I do want to teach you is how attraction works, and you can play hard to get in actually a way that's more natural. If that doesn't make sense, we'll get into it. First of all, why does this work? Why does hard to get work? I like to look at this, and the way I've kind of been able to figure this all out is through basic economics. Okay, this is the analogy here. Economics, we're talking about supply and demand. Very, very simple idea here. Okay, so the idea with supply and demand is when there's a lot of supply of something, there's a lower demand. Okay, when there is a lower supply of something, there is a higher demand. So things that are in low supply, things that are rare, like diamonds, for example, are very valuable. We put a very high price on these things and we see them as valuable because they are hard to get. Right? They're hard to get, and that is because they are rare. So I like to say that the same thing kind of works when you are dating, when you're talking to a girl and all that. When you can't get someone's attention, or when attention is rare, you want it more. Now, I know that sounds kind of funny. You're like, no, Tripp, dude, there is this girl, and I promise you, if she gave me a lot of attention, I'd be very happy about it. And I understand, you probably would. But what I'm saying to you is you're more interested and you're more invested into someone when they are just giving you a little bit of attention and not so much. So it actually amps up the attraction to such a higher level. Again, it's when they are showing a little bit of interest and a little bit of disinterest. It's that combination that kind of teases you or teases whoever the person is when it says to them, hey, you can kind of have this, but I'm not giving it to you. So it gives them this little taste and they're like, oh, okay, I want it. And you want it more because you don't have it yet. In addition to this, there's also sort of this game that's played. It feels better to be able to win someone over that's hard to get. So it is this game that we want to win as males, as females. We want to win that game, okay? When it's kind of easy, it's like, oh, okay, well, that was easy, so it's not as fun and doesn't make the prize as special. But when it's a harder game, it makes that prize more special, only because the game, in a sense, is a little bit harder, okay? So this, again, is my interpretation from some things I've read online, but also from things that I have kind of discovered as I've gone through this process here. So if this makes sense, give it a like, by the way. Let's see a bunch of likes on this video if that makes sense. More importantly, now that you understand how it works, how do you as a guy tap into this? How do you play the game of hard to get? How do you make your attention more rare? How does this work? Well, when you are dating and you meet a girl, you don't want to be giving her too much attention. Remember I said earlier, though, I don't want this to be necessarily a game, but something that happens naturally? Well, I naturally don't want you to be giving any girl too much attention because I want you to be a guy who is busy, who is maybe dating other girls, who is working on his business or your career, who is working on his hobbies, who's spending time with friends, who's getting into the gym and working out, who's accomplishing goals. So you don't have to play this manipulative game of hard to get where you're literally teasing her and just throwing it in her face. That's kind of a dick move, right? But what you can do is only be available at certain times for you guys to meet up And that's it. And also, don't be always available to meet up because you should be doing all these other things in your life. You should be busy. Guys who are not playing hard to get end up looking more needy. And then all of a sudden the roles reverse, and now the girl's playing the game and he's chasing her. So we don't want that. We want her to chase you. So we do that by, for example, only using text messaging to meet up and not be texting her all day because it shows that you're easy to get. All your attention is free. Here's all my attention in the world. Right here it is. I'm not busy doing anything else. Here's all my attention, whatever. So we use texting to meet up. We meet up with her on days that we are actually available. We shouldn't always be available. And again, hopefully you actually aren't available all the time because you are busy doing other things, right? So your attention should be scarce because it's naturally scarce because you're so busy. So don't use texting to communicate. Only meet up with her, once, maybe twice a week as you guys are dating. And that's it. That's actually enough to play this kind of hard to get game, but to show her that you're not a guy who's always and easily available. And eventually, if you do want a girlfriend, I understand that number will increase. You might be seeing her 1, 2, 3 times per week. But even then, that's all you should be doing because you should have a life doing other things and not all of a sudden consume every minute with her. The only time that might happen is when you two are going to be living together one day. And again, we're talking far down the line here in a relationship. But even then, you want to find moments to be separate from each other so that you guys can miss each other and your attention is not always there. And that helps with attraction with both you and her, by the way. So there you have it. That's the psychology of hard to get and how you can tap into it. If you want to learn more cool techniques like this and get a girl to actually text you back and get on dates with you, check out my Hooked program. And that's at getherhooked.com. I'll put a link down below so you can check that out. Again, hit that like button if this helped you. Share the video if it helped you. Every guy should be learning this stuff so you can be able to meet and attract more women. Hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next video.